if I bought a house out here with a reverse mortgage because I didn't want a mortgage payment, but I don't know, doing okay in the market, I'm still working, I drive an Uber on the side, whatever, I want to keep making $1,000, I can make those $1,000.
Sure. And then that goes into your line of credit, and then your line of credit's guaranteed to grow by the amount of your payment.
Wow. So now I still have access to that. And if the market continues to appreciate, even though I'm not making payments on my mortgage, that's offsetting whatever equity I'm using as well if the market appreciates.
Absolutely. And if it depreciates on another note, if it depreciates, the markets collapse like it did in 2008, 2009, right? It can happen.
No,
right?
trust me. I bought here and it was,
we all learned our lesson there. But if your house depreciates and it's, say you had $1 million sitting in your investment accounts, and you had a house that was that you had a $600,000 mortgage on your last day on this earth, and your house was only worth $400,000 on that day, that they could not go into the $1 million worth of accounts to collect the difference. You just basically give the house back to HUD, and it's even. It's a non-recourse loan.
So they can't. There's no recourse against any of my other assets.
Correct.
My estate, my heirs.
Correct.
Nothing.
Right. And if there's equity there and you choose to buy it, then you can actually refinance it into a loan and pay off the reverse and keep the home.
Okay, so my house, I owe $500,000. It's worth $400,000. My heirs just give it back.
Right.
It's worth $800,000. They simply refinance it, and now they have or sell it or
whatever they want to do. Yeah.
How long do they have to?
They have 1 year from the time of vacant. And I want to say death, but not always that's the case. You could choose to move into a retirement facility, right?
Right.
So whatever day you vacate the property and you're never going back is the date they start counting the clock. And it's 1 year.
Wow. Okay. I like it. I'm starting to get a better handle on this. It's more like the anything mortgage. It's kind of the utility.
It's the retirement mortgage approach. I mean, it's taking your home equity and enlacing it into your retirement plan,
so that I can use it for whatever those
comes
financial
up,
needs are, or not use it,
or not
really,
use it, or just have it
push
just
the other
in
way.
case. Even who knows who knows what the future brings. We've all those of us looking at a retirement mortgage know that you can't always predict life. It has its own kind of things it does, and it's just nice to have it there just in case.
So, so my heirs that are scared to death that I'm going to sign on the dotted line, there goes their inheritance.
Yeah.
Not true. Their inheritance can be whatever I want it to be.
That's an old wives'
based on
tale.
how much I take out or what I use it for, and I can use it for them.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Now use it responsibly.
As with anything.
I need to always stress that, and you have to be really, really careful with it. And there's, people take advantage of seniors, and you got to be careful of that. Now that you have this line of credit, does every relative you ever had, you've ever shook hands with, now all of a sudden hitting you up with money, for money? But be real careful with it. But it's there to use.
It just makes it flexible. It's my equity, and instead of being trapped in my house, it's now a usable asset for a whole handful of uses. All right, let's talk about some of the questions or the possible problems, the other side of it. I'm 62 or 65, I get my reverse mortgage, and I'm drawing out money or doing whatever. I take it all out and create the memory that you're talking about, or buy the second home. What if I live to be 112?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I know it's hard to believe, but again, it's the federal government. It's not Carl saying this. It's the federal government that's telling us this. It doesn't matter. You can never outlive, as long as you pay property taxes, insurance, and maintenance on the property. You can never outlive your mortgage. Up or down markets.
Wow.
It doesn't. You could be completely upside down on the product. They can't call the loan. They can't make you start making payments. It is contractual. Again, it's a federal program.
So, and I know you can't say this because you're a financial professional, but the light bulb to the guy like me who's going, you know what, I got some good Scandinavian genes. Everybody in my family lives to be old. this is just a good bet. This is just good probability for anybody that expects to live to a really ripe old age, because essentially, if I know I'm going to live a long time or think I'm going to live a long time, it's just flat smart, because I'm going to use up the equity and then I'm basically living in my house for free.
Well, you say you're going to use up the equity. However, if you look back to what it was, 1975, I think is the last time I saw a slide on it.
Okay.
Was real estate in California. I'm going to quote the number wrong, but I think it's like 9.2% or 8.4%, something like that. It goes up every year. So are you really using your equity? No, you're using your current equity, and then the property values are increasing, so there's even more equity in the house, right? Or there's more equity coming in, and then you use that equity, and there's more equity coming in. So it's not a downward spiral. It only goes down if the market collapses like we had in 2008, 2009. However, it came back pretty darn quick as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, in the
I mean,
long run.
nothing is guaranteed. There's no for sure's in anything, but the chances of you using up all your equity is probably not great.
Because of the appreciation,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. So what if I'm actually taking a draw? I got one of the reverse mortgages where it's going to pay me a little something every month to help
Okay,
me.
you can do that, yeah.
That and my Social Security, that's what I'm going to live on, and have no mortgage payment because I had my house in Missouri and
Right.
it was free and clear, whatever. Is there a point where I quit getting paid?
Once you use up all your equity, so once we qualify you, we're going to qualify you based on X loan amount. So you're 65 years now. The reverse mortgage is based on your age. Okay, that's one of the
Okay.
factors that go into it. So the older you are, the more of a percentage you can take out of your home, or have access to take out of
Have
your
a
home.
shorter life expectancy.
Exactly. So again, this isn't a fool's product. This is
Okay.
there's a lot of thought that goes into this.
Yep.
So if you say you have a $500,000 home and you have a $250,000 line of credit, once you hit the $250,000, it's not going to let you take any more cash out of it.
Okay.
You still won't have to make payments to pay it back, but you can't take any more cash out of it.
All right. And now the market appreciates and it builds up equity again because my house becomes worth more. Can I refinance it at that point?
Yes, you
or
can.
I can refinance
You
a
can
reverse.
refinance it
So
that way.
reverse mortgage isn't a sign on the dotted line. That's it. Ha ha ha. You're done. No. I can.
You can use your reverse mortgage for 5 years. Decide you want to move somewhere, take the equity out of the home that's left, and go buy a home with a reverse mortgage.
So I
Nothing's
take my
permanent,
home,
yeah.
get a reverse, have no payments for 5 years. Now it's time I want to move to be close to the kids because I couldn't talk them into coming out here. I sell my house, take my equity, use it as a down payment on a new house, buy it with the reverse mortgage and have no payment on that one either.
Absolutely.
And I still have the equity there, whatever equity
Yeah, whatever
I put
equity's there
into
is
it,
there, yeah.
whatever appreciation happens, it's still mine.
There's nothing different about a forward mortgage, which is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage that we've all had in our lives, right?
Yep.
And a reverse mortgage, only it's working in the reverse. It's giving you access to the equity, not building equity.
Okay. So I'm blown away, candidly. I had no idea there was this much flexibility. Why the bad rap? Why did reverse mortgages get a bad rap? And they shouldn't call them reverses because that's kind of a misleading name. The home equity conversion or something flexible mortgage is what it should be called. But why? Why the bad rap?
Well, before I answer that, the home equity conversion mortgage is one type of reverse mortgage product. There are many.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when we talk about the HECM, we're talking about the FHA HUD version
Cover.
of that. There are other mortgages. Okay, so I want to clarify that.
All right.
But you said, why the bad rap? Well, about, I don't know, 5 to 6 years ago, they kind of changed the program a bit. And in today's world, you actually have to qualify for the reverse mortgage. And you have to qualify proving that you're able to make your taxes, your insurance, and maintenance on the home. So not everybody just blanket gets one. They've also limited the amount of equity you can get. So in today's world, you have a $500,000 home, you get $250,000 equity. Maybe in the old days, you could get $350,000 equity. However, that made it to where the program wasn't self-sustaining and it was too much money out and forced and got people into really bad
Financial
situations
trouble.
because they couldn't afford anything. So it just kind of, they tweaked it to make it a more favorable, more sustainable product.
Yeah, and it seemed like that was some of the articles that I read where people sold seniors on a reverse for the wrong again, it's a financial planning tool, but without responsible financial planning, that tool is dangerous.
It's horrible, and it's if you do it and you're dealing with a salesperson who's trying to sell you an annuity or trying to get you to buy land in wherever because it's going to be worth
Right.
$1 million. Those are the wrong reason to do it. I mean, if you don't have a financial planner, seek out advice from a professional. I mean, somebody you trust. If you have kids, get kids to come listen to what you're doing, or good friends, or whatever, aunts, uncles, whatever it happens to be. I guess aunts and uncles would be pretty old if you were a senior, but get somebody that you trust to go to on the meetings with you. Just don't get sold something. I think it's really important.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably the best advice. If I could just clean up, never get sold anything. Think, plan, research, why we're creating all these videos and all the FAQs that we're adding so that people can get all those answers. You need all the answers. You need to understand this before you move ahead. Draw in your financial professionals, but again, it's a powerful financial planning tool, but it needs financial planning. It needs expert guidance to use it wisely.
Yeah, and try not to buy products with it. It's a living tool, in my opinion, not a product tool. And a lot of times people try and do this to do something else, and it's just be really careful. If anybody ever isn't willing to give you that next meeting with another level of family or friend, that's a sign. That's a warning sign.
That's a
be really
sign.
careful with that. Just be careful.
Anybody that's
You got
trying to make a
equity,
decision right now.
Yeah.
That's true with not just reverses, but anything.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody wants you to make a decision right now, that's first
just try
sign.
to walk away.
Yeah, don't make that decision.
There's
Okay.
another thing it's a mandatory counseling session. So you meet with me in my office, right?
Mhm.
And we talk about all this, and you say, "Wow, Carl, this is great. This is too good to be true. Let's do it." I'll say, "That's great. We'll do it. But what I need you to do is go take a class. And you're going to pay for the class. You're going to pay between $100 and $150 for this class.
Okay.
And if your wife is going to be a part of this, well, if you're married or living with somebody that's going to be on the loan, you both have to take the class.
Okay.
Right? And it's about an hour and a half of a approved HUD counselor who is telling you everything I told you is either true or not true.
So-
And at that point, we're going to give you in California, we're going to give you 7 days to change your mind.
Got it. So
That's-
that has to have gotten rid of a lot of the
Exactly.
scammy stuff that was
Exactly.
happening and whatnot. And hopefully they talk a lot of people out of it that are getting pushed into
Exactly.
it for the wrong reasons.
I hope so, yeah.
Wow. All right. So while we're at it here, let's just hit a few more of the questions. So I can't get kicked out of my house as long as I'm paying my property taxes and insurance and maintenance. But I don't have to worry about the mortgage payment ever.
And maintenance, somebody's not going to come out and say, "Hey, you need to paint your trim." We're not talking about that maintenance.
Yeah.
But if there's a city complaint, the city condemns your home or that kind of thing,
Becoming
is really
uninhabitable.
what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're on the next episode of Hoarders or something like that. All right, so I'm not worried about losing my home. What about qualifying? What is it? You said I got to qualify, and in the old days, people didn't have to qualify as much, which is what got us in the whole country in trouble with the last mortgage crash. People weren't qualifying, getting in over their head. It sounds like the same thing with the reverse. Well, now that I need to qualify, what are the requirements for me to get a reverse mortgage?
They're pretty easy. You must be at least 62 years of age to be on the loan, right?
Okay.
So that's there. You must show the ability to repay the debt or repay the taxes, the insurance, and the maintenance.
Okay.
So we have to have some form of income coming in, usually Social Security, right?
Yep.
Most of us get it. Or if you don't, you're getting some kind of pension or something, and that usually qualifies you there. And then you must show a pattern of credit that you have, that you are paying your debt.
Right.
But it's not a credit specific program where you can actually have bad credit and get this. And then you have to take this class that I was talking about.
Right.
And that's really the way you qualify for it. There's not a whole lot to it. There's a lot of paperwork. I will tell you that it's not sign on the dotted line and you're in. There's a lot of paperwork that's involved. We're proving everything you say. Sometimes the paperwork process can be a little intimidating, but that's where a good
What
professional
in
will
the
help get you through it.
mortgage
Exactly.
space isn't.
In just about everything.
Yeah, it's just more and more complicated. Okay, so got it. Qualifying. I have to be 62. What if my spouse is 62 and I'm 58?
So that's an issue. So they can't be on the loan,
Okay.
but they can live in the house until they depart.
Okay.
So
Wait.
okay.
Until they depart.
Until
so
they're no longer on this
so-
planet or decide to move out of the home.
My wife's 62, I'm 58. We get the mortgage in her name. I'm married to her. I live in the house with her. Something happens 8 years later. At 70, she passes away.
Right. You're now allowed to live in the house
Okay.
for the duration, as long as you want to, except the line of credit aspect of it goes away.
Okay.
So you no longer
I can't
have
use
you
her
can't,
line of credit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can stay in that house
Right.
into perpetuity.
Or you can refinance into your own reverse.
Okay.
Right.
And what about heirs and whatnot in that situation? Is it if there's a lot of equity still in the house?
Same thing, yeah.
It still belongs to the family. It could
Yeah.
still, or I could refinance it.
Yeah, you can refinance
Because
it,
now
yeah.
I'm over 62.
Mhm.
So what's the downside if I'm not 62? I don't really see.
You can't do the line of credit. You can't keep the reverse mortgage
and get the line of
and
credit.
keep the line of credit. The
But I
line-
can
line
get
of
a
credit
new
gets
reverse
frozen. You
mortgage
get a
'cause
new
I can
reverse mortgage.
refinance.
You have to qualify again, right? So, are you old
Yeah.
enough? Do you have the ability to repay the debt? Say you've been a deadbeat all your life and you have no Social Security coming in and no source of income, then
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't, right?
Yep. Got it. Okay, so the age is an issue. What are the other common questions here? Other problems? What are the things that people need to know? Like, does it affect my Medicare, Medicaid?
It does not. Taking money from your own home is your equity, and your equity is yours to spend. It's not taxed. And then you can make as much money as you want at age 70. So what if you, from age 62 to age 70, you did a reverse mortgage and maybe pulled some of that equity you have sitting in your house out?
Wow.
Now you're not paying the Social Security penalty if you need to work to be able to make it all work.
Okay, so that's really powerful.
That's getting complicated, I know, but
No.
and please, financial planners are really good with that little
Right.
bit of information. So talk
Yeah,
to
you
them.
can kind of see what the return on investment is to do that. But if I understood that correctly, if you begin taking your Social Security benefit before age 70, you're going to get a reduced benefit. You get the
Right.
maximum benefit at 70 or above.
Right, and it's 8% less per year the earlier you take it.
So taking it at 62, it's
It's a big penalty. Yeah.
really, really hurting me.
Hopefully
and that's
you're
for the
that
rest of my life.
Scandinavian that has the real long
Right.
lifespan because you're giving up a lot to
Yeah,
take it
I'm giving
early.
up
yeah.
a lot to take it early. But if I use the reverse mortgage, maybe not even forever, but just to cover that gap so that I can sustain myself for those 8 years, 5 years, whatever, until I'm age 70, now I take my Social Security benefit. It's significantly higher.
Yes.
Now I could stop taking as much money on my reverse or
Absolutely. Yeah.
start even making payments on my reverse,
whatever you
whatever I
wanna do.
want.
Mhm.
So I don't have to use it forever. I could use it just to cover that gap. Nobody with equity in their home, personal opinion, not officially but I can't imagine it would ever make sense for somebody to take their Social Security benefit early and reduce it that dramatically when they have all that equity in their house that they could use to wait a little bit and increase their Social Security benefits into perpetuity.
If nothing else, it's worth exploring the option, right?
All right, you know what? We could go on, and we will. And again, this video is not meant to teach you everything about a reverse mortgage. You are not educated yet. The FAQs, we've got a list of about 100 of them that we're going to try and answer. So if you have any questions, you can go there. But most importantly, ask questions. Ask your financial professional. Click down below and ask Carl a question.
Yeah, please.
That's what you need to be doing. You need to be doing your homework. You need to think of every question. And when you run out of them, you need to do like I did and say, what questions am I missing that I should be asking? But for now, Carl, thank you very much for kind of lifting the fog on the reverse mortgage.